Let's take a look at the 7-footer out of North Little Rock High School, headed to Oregon, Kel'El Ware. I do want to touch on his three-point shooting just real quick. He does most of his damage in the lane. He was 0 of 3 from 3 with the FIBA under-18 team. Took a lot more attempts with his high school team. You see him knock that one down. I'm not saying it's something he does at a high level right now. He was 8 of 10 from the free throw line with that FIBA team, but just something to keep an eye on, maybe a longer-term development with Ware. Again, he's going to do most of his damage in the lane, so here you see him pick and roll, catch the lob. He's obviously going to be a threat at the rim in a variety of situations. Didn't see as many pick and roll possessions as what I was hoping to see, but you got that one there. And then even here, I thought he did a pretty good job for a big guy catching in traffic. He does bring it down here just a little bit, but with 2 defenders around him swiping at the ball, there were possessions where I thought he did a good job kind of just being strong with it and then had the ability to finish there at the rim. The other thing you're going to see in the lane is a post-up. So here off a ball screen action with the FIBA team, gets a nice post position in the lane, able to hold that, getting pushed a little bit. The thing you're going to see with him is an over the left shoulder right hook like you see right here, which he misses, but did see him make quite a few of those. Or you're going to see him what he does here on this weak side duck in, which again gets nice position. He's going to go over that left shoulder. They take it away. And what I'd like to see him is add some variety, be able to step all the way through. I know the lane is crowded on this one, but then he's just going to kind of square up and shoot that little push shot over the defender. So that's really the only 2 things. I did like the ways in which he got to his post up, off the pick and roll, off the duck in, here off a cut. Even later we'll show one in transition. I would have liked to see him be able to catch this one and immediately go up, maybe even with his left hand. Again, not a lot of variety with him. Everything is trying to get to that left shoulder, right hand hook, or square up a little bit if they take that away and just shoot it over the top of the defender. Again, with his length, his size, his ability to get off the floor, he's going to be a lob threat in the dunker spot, or even there, you see him just with a little dump off and finish. I do think he has to get a little quicker off the floor in those situations, but he is going to be a threat at the rim. 61% in the 6 games with the FIBA U18 team. You're going to see in transition here, him follow up, get an offensive rebound. He averaged 3 offensive rebounds per game in those 6 games. And I think transition in general is a play type where he can be effective. We'll talk about his defense in a second, but you see him use his length there to force a turnover. And then again, gets down the floor, gets that early post position. I don't think he's a guy you're going to run a lot of sets for to get post-ups, but you saw him get his own post-up out of ball screens, the cuts, transition, those type of things. That's really it for him offensively. Developing shot, see if it comes around, everything else in the lane just as a lob threat, a play finisher. Didn't see a lot of passing, less than assists a game with the FIBA U18 team. When we look at him on the defensive end, one thing I did like is the variety of ways he was used in ball screen coverage. So here you see him out in a hard hedge. There's some pros and cons with it. You're going to see him here. He's going to get beat on the split, but I did like that his high school team put him in different scenarios. It wasn't just stand in the lane and play drop. The issue when he gets out on the perimeter is he relies too much on just letting the ball handler go by and then trying to block it from behind. Now, obviously, he is a rim protector. He averaged almost 6 blocks a game with his high school team. Averaged 2.2 with the FIBA U18 team, but he relies on it a little bit too much. Like this drop coverage possession here, as he's able to turn and recover and block that one at the rim. So again, he is going to be able to protect the rim with his length. I just think there's some areas where he could get better. I really like this drop coverage possession where he just gets back in front, squares up, doesn't even allow the shot to get off. I think he has to get better at that. I'll show it with his off-ball defense as well. And then even a little bit of switch. So we've seen him hard hedge. We've seen him drop here and switch, what I think is a pretty decent possession. Even though the offensive player gets into the lane, ends up making a tough floater. I thought that was decent compared to what you're going to see here, especially when Kel'El Ware gets tired. This is what he does. I'm not saying he should be in switch a lot, but he's going to have to guard on the perimeter at times, and you'll see he just completely opens up on this possession and then is going to rely on trying to block it from behind. The problem is he doesn't always have the great timing to get it. I know the offensive player misses that one, but I still think he needs to work on, in general, just squaring up on the defensive end. You're going to see it again here in help. This is coming early. He's going to have to be a weak side rim protector for a defense, and I just think he can get over, and he has to learn to play with verticality, squaring the offensive player up, playing with his chest a little bit more. Yes, he's disruptive here just because of his size and his length, but I don't think that's great positioning with his body in general. I don't think he's going to get away with that as he gets to high-level college basketball and then eventually into the NBA. And then even just some of his timing stuff. Saw some possessions like that one where it looked like it should have been able to come over, get the block, and he just wasn't able to time it up and get off the floor quick enough to get it. So looking at Kel'El Ware overall and what to expect next year at Oregon, be really interested to see if the shot comes around. And then he's obviously going to be a play finisher, transition, cuts, lob threat in the dunker spot. Would like to see him develop more in the pick and roll. Just didn't see enough of those possessions to be sure. And then defensively, I think he's a rim protector, but with a lot of young rim protectors, just going to have to develop some more fundamentals and nuance to the ways in which he does it.